Hey guys, here's a short tutorial on how to export your files for the tessellation project. There's a couple ways to do this in Illustrator because, of course, there's a few ways to do most things. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to File Export, and this way is the way that I think is pretty much the easiest for the PNG and JPEG. So you go to File Export, and then you'll have the format, and you can either select PNG or scroll down and select JPEG. We'll start off with a JPEG, but for now you also want to select Use Artboards because, as you can see on the edge of my file, there's a little bit of this triangle popping out of the edge, and maybe you have some shapes around the edge of your artboard here just kind of lingering in the space. You don't want those to show up in your JPEG, so you want to select Use Artboards so that you only select the contents that are on your artboard. And then you would just, once you have all those things selected, you click Export. You want to change this to RGB because we have our files are for the web. The quality, I always usually put it up to 10, which I guess I would recommend. The resolution, you would select 72 because you're going to be using this for the web. So it only needs to be 72 ppi. If you want to, you can do 150. No need for 300. Some computers can show a sharper image than just 72 ppi, so you may want to select 150, but just for this project, you can select 72 and then click OK. And then you'll see in my tessellation project folder, now I have my Illustrator file and I have my JPEG. We can do that for the PNG. Export. Oh, you know what? Did I select Use Artboards? I don't know. Use Artboards, so we'll make sure that that's selected, and then the same thing goes here. You can select 72, and then a PNG allows for the transparent background. So you can see how this kind of changes, and you see those checkered boxes in the background. So you could have a transparent background, but most likely for this project, you're not going to want that. So you could select white so that it's just like a JPEG. Your whole artboard should be filled with content, so honestly, that really shouldn't matter too much. Transparent or white. But yeah, you can just select from that depending on what you need and then click OK. And then we'll see our PNG here. Now this is adding 0, 1 because I've exported these a few times, so it's giving me these numbers, but that's okay. Okay, now another way to do this would be to go to File, Save for Web. And it's a little different on the different versions of Illustrator. I think that when you want to go to Save for Web, this might be for the 2015.3 version, you would go to Export, and then there's going to be a little, like this has the little arrow and then more options come off. You can go to Export, and then there will be another list, and you can say Save for Web. It might say something else. I would really have to double check, but it should be export as, and then you would select from that little drop down menu, but it'll bring you to this same screen. So I'm just going to go File, Save for Web, and then you would select either GIF, which also has the transparent background. So you can deselect that, so there's no transparency. If I select that, then you can see that little checkered background. You could export your JPEG. This is low quality as opposed to high quality. And then you can select your PNG. And again, that will have a transparent background, which you can unselect. The cool thing about this is that you can see the difference between multiple files. So if you say choose a GIF and you have your PNG here, you could just see the differences in these file sizes. Let's try a JPEG. 484.01K, and a GIF is a smaller file size, 16.25K. So here this allows you to compare. We already have our PNG and our JPEG, so we'll just do the GIF. We'll unselect this and click Save. And here we have it in our project folder already. It comes up, Tessellation Project, and we'll click Save. Now you see it here. Okay. Okay, and finally, and this is going to be the last thing that you're going to want to do, and you'll see why, we'll export to a PDF. What you're going to have to do, it's not actually export, you're going to have to do save as, file save as, and then from your drop-down menu, you select PDF and click save. And you can notice that in a PDF, you don't have to compress it. So the file can be scaled just like an Illustrator file can be scaled. It's an Adobe product, so it allows you to, it goes together with Illustrator. You view it in Adobe Acrobat. So basically what I'm saying is that the objects in a PDF are scalable. So you can make them as big as you need, and it will not pixelate like a JPEG would. Because, as you can see, you don't have Adobe JPEG. It's not Adobe PNG. They're just JPEG PDF. Now this is Adobe PDF. So it works hand in hand with the Adobe products. So there's no compression. But anyways, you can just keep all these settings the same. If you want to view your PDF after you save it, you can select this box and then you'll click Save PDF. And mine just pops right up. And you can see it in the folder here. All right, so then what would I need to turn in? Well, first of all, your project report. So that's number 1, your Illustrator file, number 2, your PDF, number 3, and then you would select one from the following. If you want to be ambitious, you can submit them all, but you're really only required to submit 1, 2, and then one of these and your project report. Alrighty, hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, you can email me. Thanks, guys.